cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is For Women Wednesday. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by my co-host, K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And welcome to another Women Wednesday. Okay, Comedian 96, open the door and let them in.
All right, ladies, come on in.
Now, ladies, imagine this. You are a fly on the wall in a distinguished gentleman club. This lounge is where men go for male bonding. They bond over cigars, drinks, dominoes, cards, sports, etc. Most of the men in this lounge are college educated and earn a decent income. During the course of bonding, oftentimes topics about women will arise. So with that being said, today's topic in the Distinguished Gentleman Lounge is about the pros and cons to a woman's needs and wants. Okay, fellas, before we peel back the layers, we have to identify what a woman may want in a man and or from a man. Now, we know most women, at the top of their list, it's a man with money. Unfortunately, a lot of men with money view those women as opportunists and or gold diggers. Nevertheless, I believe women as a whole are not money hungry. Now, fellas, we've lived long enough to gauge what some women are looking for in a man. So, if you had a young adult son and you had to give him one piece of advice, what would you tell him a woman is looking for in a man?
I would say stability.
I say secure.
Man, I would say, just being a gentleman, knowing how to treat her.
Okay, and for me, I believe that if his mother is living, I would say that a woman would watch him on how he treats his mother. So, now with that being said, I actually read an interesting article in the Minnesota Spokesman's Recorder. Now, the Minnesota Spokesman's Recorder is an African-American newspaper in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's been around for about 90 years. It's the longest running black-owned business in Minnesota. The article is about what black women want from black men. Now, there is a list, and I will say the list is pretty fair. However, there are pros and cons to everything. Now, I believe everything on this list is a pro. However, I want us, as I go down the list, to find a con within these pros, if that even makes sense. So, the first thing on the list is these women, they said that they want a man with emotional intelligence. So, now, emotional intelligence, for those who don't know, is having the ability to perceive, understand, and manage one's emotions and the emotions of others. Would y'all agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what a lot of them want,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. She want to be able to open up to you about,
and he understands,
and he listening.
It's kind of a bonding deal,
So let me ask you.
They want a man that listens.
So let me ask you this. Can you find how could there be a con within that?
Well, depending on what she wanting you to listen to. Is it some nonsense that went on at work with somebody that she get into it with all the time, or that she just feel like don't like them? That's negative energy. I think that, that would be a con if that's what you need me for.
Yeah, you if you one of those that listen too damn much, you end up being the homegirl, which make you end up in the friend zone.
Not necessarily.
If you listening too damn much to everything she got to say, just like you just said, you said she talking about the homegirl at work or something that went on. It's like, damn, you listening. Okay, you just too concerned now. You the homegirl now. So
G, you mentioned. I thought you said something about being emotional, right?
Yeah. So, according to this newspaper, they're saying that women, they want a man with emotional intelligence, and basically this meaning that and what I did is I gave a definition of emotional intelligence.
So look at it this way: if your girl came to you and she came and said, "Hey, this my boss at work, man, they giving me a backlash and blah blah blah," you want to talk about that. But your same girl come to you and say, "Man, my homegirl went and got her hair done." What you gonna say? I don't want to hear that shit. You not care. It's certain things you gotta pick and choose to listen to. Because if you listening to everything, you want to talk about your homegirl getting her hair done. Now you just being a simp to me. It's like,
just because you listening. I'm
what's
trying to see
what's
what
the
the
purpose-
listening,
what's the
how the
purpose?
listening is tying into the being emotional.
Well, it becomes a negative because what's the purpose of listening to her homegirl getting her hair done and she didn't like the way it was done? It's you wasting time.
But that's just
you talk about that with one of your homegirls, not with me.
Small talk, and you're gonna eventually do that with a woman, man. And I think your response is what makes the difference. You could easily say, "Oh, well, yeah, I hope it work out for her next time," or "I'm."
But that's the con we're talking about. There's certain things if it's something that's hurting her emotionally or bothering her emotionally, yeah, I'ma listen. But if it's something that's not affecting her at all, and you just look, I don't want to hear that old story.
I think that shows a vulnerable side of a man, and I think men think when we do show our vulnerable side, it's a sign of weakness. So that would be my con.
Okay. So here's the thought. Many women associate emotional intelligence with a man as having emotional equivalents to hers, and it can appear that the man don't have feelings if his emotion is not equivalent to hers.
Yeah. That's where they don't understand.
Yeah, if his emotion is not in line with hers,
then
he don't have feelings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's where it could be a con with these women want a man that have emotional intelligence, but unconsciously they actually wanting his emotion to be in line with hers. And it's not going to be that way.
Nah.
So, number 2 on that list, women want a man to show consistency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be.
Consistency.
Yeah. She gotta know that she can depend on you.
It's a lot of different things that I guess is required to be consistent in a relationship, such as communication.
Yeah.
You better be consistent with knowing how to communicate with her. Now that's a pro.
Yeah, all of these are pros. I'm trying to find out if there are any cons that we can find within what they're looking for.
I think whatever he's consistent in would factor in on whether or not it's a con. Just like I think Slash, you mentioned communication. So if he's not consistent in communicating, that's not good. Or let's say if he's consistent at not coming home after work,
she can spoil it to you if you coming home every day at 5:30.
I'm understanding what you're saying, K-Money. So you're saying that these women are looking for men with consistency, but you're saying, K-Money, that if he's consistently
on doing shit that
coming home late, that could be a con in what they're looking for when it comes to consistency.
Yes.
Y'all want to add to that?
Nah, I'm on point with that.
I had a I hate to say it, crazy girl back in the day, back when I was in my 20s, and we lived together. And my job was literally about 15 minutes away. I got off at 5 with the traffic. I'd be home at 5:30 every day, consistently. Now the downfall of that is it was an accident. I got there at 6, so now that's a negative because she's used to me being there at 5:30 every day. Now I done went out and cheated because I came home at 6 this time. So that could be a negative, doing stuff consistent all the time.
Okay. So here's my thoughts, right? Sometimes the consistency a woman is looking for caters to her needs and wants, which means a man has to go out of his way to please her in those areas. She don't realize he's making a valid effort to alter who he is as a person. So there are times when he may be inconsistent. The inconsistency is because he makes an effort to alter who he really is. That makes sense?
Yeah, you're kind of pretending.
Yeah.
You're pretending, and it's really not. You're adjusting for her to make her happy, basically.
Yeah. They're looking for a man with consistency that's consistent, but a lot of times they're looking for consistency to cater to their
them.
needs.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about a woman from a man is for him to cater to what she needs.
Exactly.
Majority of the time. I mean, that's the role that they play, which makes the whole thing delusional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like I was saying, she consistently wanted me home at 5:30, but the day I came home at 6 is a problem with her. She had the problem.
They want somebody to be emotional with them, to understand their feelings, but they want consistency of that, which after so long of that, then now she's saying, well, you always da-da-da-da-da, you a da-da-da-da-da ass dude, da-da-da. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a delusional state that I think women live in. Sorry, ladies. But I think because you want so much of everything, and you have these, I guess, high standards of what you want a man to be, but you allow him to show you that, and then you try to step on him with the same stuff that you think you like about him.
Okay, and you actually touched on some stuff that's on this list, Slash. So another thing that was on this list, and again, this list came from a newspaper article, right? So another thing, number 3 on this list, that women want a man to put forth effort.
Yeah.
Y'all agree?
I agree. Yeah. You got to put some effort into it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. You have to.
Okay. Can you find any kind of con in that?
Putting forth the effort.
Or too much effort.
Yeah, too much effort.
Well, here's one. They want you to put in the effort. But when you put in the effort to tell them about something that they don't like, or tell them something about themselves, they don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like that part.
Because I put in an effort to tell you where you got off to the wrong, or how you rubbed me wrong, and not to be ignorant about it or crazy or nothing, but just it's crazy, man.
Okay. So here's my thoughts, right? A lot of women don't express appreciation for the effort a man puts forth.
No.
I agree.
Some women think just because they give up the ass on a date after a date
that you supposed
they're
to.
showing appreciation.
Yeah.
That's not always the case.
It's not.
She could just be horny and wanted to get her rocks off.
Right.
But I appreciate it.
and it's so simple. Check this out. It's
Thank
so
you.
simple. Whether it's a dinner or a trip, expressing your appreciation can be so simple as thank you. This was really nice.
I totally agree.
Now can I have some?
And then when you don't do that every time, because it haven't been consistent, because she want consistency too. But now this you forgot sometimes. Now you in the doghouse again. You see how delusional you want me to be so much, but then this portion of me, what you want, don't add up with this one of me of what you want. But this is who you created for me to be in the first place.
Yeah.
Delusional. Crazy.
Okay, so number 4 on the list. Women want a man to protect them. They want protection.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they want protection.
That's why most of them want 6. You got to be at least 6 foot and all that because they like to be protected.
They want protection,
Not knowing
but
the shorter dudes are the craziest. We'll protect you.
they want protection, but don't want a gun in the house.
Right?
How
Ain't
does
that
that work?
crazy? Yeah.
Delusional? This is where we going. We about to find out today.
Okay, so can y'all find a con in that?
Being overprotected.
Overprotective. Just crazy stuff. What?
Handcuffing them.
Yeah. Hey man, quit looking at my gal. shit like
Something
that.
goes wrong while you with her and you trying to be the bigger guy.
Right.
Not to impress her. It ain't like you can't beat the dude up. You just don't want to deal with this today.
Exactly.
Hey man, look man, I don't want to go through this. Now she thinking, why you didn't do this?
Do
or
this?
you didn't?
Yeah.
Look, little mama, I'm really trying to be respectful because I ain't feel like getting in all that because I know what I'm finna have to go through if I get into it and have to fight this dude. I ain't trying to go. That's not what I come here for.
Exactly.
You know,
if I could talk it out first, and the women don't think like that. If I could talk it out first, hey, bro, quit looking, bro.
It ain't even about looking. You can look all you want.
I mean, looking and staring is 2 different things.
I don't care about you staring. Don't say nothing. That's when it's gonna be a problem.
Oh, they say don't say nothing.
But my thing is, you can look all you want.
I kind of agree with Slash. I mean, if a motherfucker staring, then I'm go get his attention by looking at him. Now,
Yeah.
He
whatever
gonna
comes-
see, and I know that you
you
staring.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. And if you keep staring, even though after you look at now, you
don't
make
you
me
say nothing because that's where the problem gonna start.
Yeah.
Because you already know we here.
Yeah.
And we don't have to talk.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just like you see that, but again, she's looking for, and she okay with you, but you haven't said enough to him.
Yeah.
You know, she wants you to say something, mention something to this man. Man, I'm not finna tell this man. I already know how I feel. If he don't say nothing to me, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. He ain't touch you.
Yeah, exactly.
He ain't said nothing.
You know
probably
what?
will.
That actually happened to me a long time ago at Walmart. That's when I was crazy, right?
So you
Wait.
crazy with the crazy girl
No,
because
so the
your
girl
earlier
that had,
story.
she what I do, but that dude was big too. But she had on this dress, man. You could see all her cheeks. I was right behind her. I was paying for my stuff. Dude, she was like, you looking at me? Yeah, I'm looking. She's right there.
You put
the
it on?
dude was cool. He was much bigger than me. He said, "Baby, you don't have nothing on," and we just both started laughing.
But here's the thing. She wore it for attention.
Yeah.
And then gets upset when somebody gives her the
get mad.
attention
Yeah,
that
I'm
she
like,
wore it for.
I see
Well,
everything.
Delusional.
She
Yeah.
saw the crazy attention she was getting, the attention she was getting from a crazy person. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
man.
what alarmed her.
Delusional.
Exactly.
Tell you.
I guess I didn't I wasn't Morris Chestnut. I was looking like Forrest Whitaker, so she.
Yeah.
No, I need Morris looking.
Okay, here's my thoughts on that, right? Protection requires leadership. It requires a person to stand up for someone or stand in the gap for someone. It's not always about being physical with a person on behalf of a woman. The problem is that some women don't know how to let a man protect them, even if that means protecting them from themselves.
Right. Because a lot of times they want to be the man in the relationship too. They want to tell you what to do and how to do it and all of that. But you want me to be a protector. And when I try to do that, you don't like how I'm trying to
Yeah, you
protect.
gotta let us do it our way.
Let me do it my way instead of you criticize the way I try to protect what we got going on.
Yeah,
but
that-
you don't like it like I'm doing it.
They way can get a motherfucker killed.
Yeah.
So, right. So, next on the list is a woman wants a man to accept accountability.
Yeah.
We accept accountability. That,
But
that
we
should be
want it to-
reversed.
yeah, exactly. We want the same thing.
Yeah,
I think a real man accepts accountability for whatever.
for a
whether
couple
he-
of reasons. I
Whether,
don't want to hear your mouth.
well, whether he was wrong or not, I
Yeah.
think he accepts, accountability
Like you
on
say,
stuff.
key word, a real man will
He will.
be accountable for whatever.
Will.
the fuck
For
he's
whatever,
doing.
whether it was a mistake or whether it was the greatest move ever.
Or even if we didn't even do it, because we know, like, you know what? It's not even worth the argument. We know how
Right.
we are. It's not worth the argument. Let me just go. Yeah, okay, I did it.
The problem with that is it's not always reciprocated from a woman.
Oh yeah,
They're not into. They want you to be accountable, but they're not gonna be accountable.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest con right there.
Most of it, they not gonna be accountable for.
So I'm actually in line with y'all, right? So most men are accountable. Women don't accept it from them. Let me give you an example. A man can apologize for his wrong and accept responsibility for his actions. However, most women will hold it over his head for years.
Yeah, and see, that's the ball and chain. That's that ball and chain that you don't need to be attached to, because
That
that's
black
what they're
cloud,
gonna do.
Yeah, that black cloud following you.
Yeah, man, it's
Some
crazy.
shit you owned up to
And-
3
and
years
it's-
ago.
This conversation that we having, man, is so important now in today's dating world, because it's different than what it used to be, man. I heard something about why we having to go through this, man, and that's a whole different show. I'm not gonna change it, but man, I'm telling you, this needs to be talked about, you know, all over, everywhere, relationship purposes. This conversation right here, this is a great show.
Okay, so next on the list is women want a man to show vulnerability. Y'all agree or disagree?
Nah, she be fucking your best
Now,
friend.
do
don't you
agree.
show her
You
no
do
vulnerable.
it.
Don't do it.
Now, what's different between that one and number 2, Freddie G?
Number two, well, they want men to show consistency.
No, okay. What was I thought it was.
There was
that-
one
emotion,
emotion,
And
something.
that and vulnerability can't
Emotional
kinda,
intelligence.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
to
that's a
her,
little bit
understanding
different.
her,
There's a
but
difference.
vulnerability,
Yeah.
you want me to.
But they want that women want men to show vulnerability.
So you want me to come in and cry like you do?
basically being able to have the real conversation, being vulnerable in conversation, or whatever, just
Yeah.
to show vulnerability.
yeah, but then
you keep that.
you
You
know.
know, keep your problems to yourself.
well, you better not go too deep into how vulnerable you really were.
That
Exactly.
is-
Because that's where it's going to
Yeah,
hurt
I
you.
agree with that.
Yeah.
100%.
Because we all know people go through stuff that you know can kind of be vulnerable to.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Stuff happens that has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
just be stuff that happened that it happens to you, and of course, there's nothing you can do. But you can't show fear of being vulnerable, because that's probably more or less what you need to show her than telling her how vulnerable you was.
Fellas, just go to the cigar lounge. Talk to the fellas at the cigar
You
lounge.
get too vulnerable, she'll be calling him her.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
saying.
Here's my thoughts on it, right? When a man shows vulnerability, most women don't know how to provide comfort without internal judgment. Usually, the internal judgment becomes external later during an argument or a heated conversation.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah, they will bring it up.
Yeah, bring it back up.
They'll live in the past on you.
And the one that's scratching your head, we talking about you.
Yeah.
Okay, now this next one on the list is women want to be with a man that loves. They love to feel like they're in a partnership. So love that feels like partnership, not struggle.
That's me, bro. I mean, you know, I if I'm with somebody, I definitely want it to feel like a partnership instead of a one-way street.
Well, yeah, of
You know,
course.
you move better like that. In my opinion, you just move better when you're in sync.
But we live in a society now where most women feel like the man need to take care of everything, like it used to be back in the day before they had rights to go out and work and make money. Well, it's a different day and age now, ladies. You can go out, you can get some money. You can be a 50-50 provider with your spouse, especially if you have kids in your household, because that's what's going to make you a stronger family and a more business-minded family rather than, you know, and let me not get off of the subject, but in so many words, ladies, you know, we can do all of what you want us to do as far as men, but you got to let us do it our way.
That is.
So let me share my thoughts, right? So men view partnership different than women. Partnership is not always 50-50. Sometimes partnership is 60-40. Sometimes partnership is 70-30. or even 80-20. If we're in a relationship, we are partners. So in some areas in the relationship, a man may do more. In other areas, a woman may do more. At the end of the day, we are partners.
That's right.
Yep.
This not always about money and or who pays the most bills.
I agree. I agree.
It's a partnership on decision making, on a lot of different stuff. You know, partnership, that's the whole purpose. But when you don't understand the concept of a relationship and a partnership, it goes sour. You know, because one person is thinking that the other person should do more here, or you know, and like you say, yeah, women do more, you know, in areas, and men do more in different areas. But that's what makes the relationship what it is.
But if y'all operating like partners, then I think you can grow it. The relationship can grow. Well, but if you're not moving in sync, then I think that can stunt the growth of that relationship.
Of course. Definitely.
So the next one that they mention is that women want a man to know their love language.
Well, you should, because you should study
Exactly.
what
If
they
you
do,
study
what they
and your
like.
mate, you will figure it out.
You know,
If
that's
you're paying attention,
that's one of the quietest kept secrets.
right?
Find a con in that. If you can. If you can't, just say you can't.
I don't think it's a con to it.
I don't. I must say this as a con, but I don't necessarily think that it's a con. But you reacting to what you think is the love language, but you're totally wrong. So you overemphasizing what you think her love language is, but you've misdiagnosed
If you misdiagnosed it,
Yeah.
Okay.
I can feel that.
So here's my thoughts. Some women make their love language the priority in the relationship and forget that a man has his own love language. Don't lump all men in the same boat of love language.
That is true.
Thinking that our love language is fuck 'em and feed 'em. And let me add this. Men, we need to stop playing into the stereotype, because fucking and feeding us don't require much effort.
That don't keep nobody there either.
But if that's all you require as a man, then more power to you.
Yeah. Or woman. I
So-
don't want you if you're a woman and that's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying
don't
though.
need-
Like I understand the love language and knowing her love language. The thing is that the con is don't make your love language, said
Priority.
woman, don't make your love language the priority in the relationship.
Yeah.
You're forgetting that men have love languages too,
Exactly.
right? And don't assume that all a man love language is fucking us and feeding us.
Yeah, 'cause that ain't
See,
it.
but there are men who play into the
They
stereotype.
allow it to be that.
They play into the stereotype
Just fuck 'em and feed 'em and
that
be good.
fuck 'em and feed them, and they're gonna be good, and they play into that. And by doing that, that doesn't take much effort for her. That doesn't take much effort at all. However many minutes you last sexually, and one plate of food, that doesn't take much effort at all. And so we as men, if you're doing that, we need to stop playing into that stereotype for allowing that to appear to be your love language.
So what I do know about women too, once they can't figure out your love language is fuck them and feed them, they kind of,
Once they figure it's not fucking and feed.
once
Yeah,
they
not-
know that they can't do that to you, they kind of got it. You got them on edge now.
You know what it is, once they figure out they can't do that to, I'm sorry for cutting you, but what it is when they figure out that fuck them and feed them is not his love language, they don't want to put in the effort to
Yeah.
find out what your love
yeah,
language
because
is.
it's
They don't
more.
want. They
it's
don't
more
want to do
to
what
it.
they require us to do.
Yeah, it's more to it, and now they know that they really got to do something other than fuck you and feed
Study.
you.
Study your mate just like
You-
we got to
yeah.
study our ass.
And
Exactly.
they'll run. They'll run away.
And so again, ladies, the con in finding out what your love language is, the con in it is that you make your love language the priority in the relationship.
And you are the con. You can't con me with
That's
that.
not a partnership either. If you acting as if your love language is priority, you Trying to wear the pants, like
well,
Slash said.
well, because they think that the relationship is all about the female, and it's not. You know, it's about both parties. Again, partnership.
Right.
Is both parties matter in this relationship. So, I mean, that's where a lot of them miss out because they not really thinking, you know, the man got certain things he need and I have to be there for him on that to understand.
Hey, but what's crazy, Freddie G, that there are a lot of guys out there that do have that fuck me and feed me mentality.
Oh yeah.
And you know what, man, that's our fault.
Yeah.
And I'm putting us
I have to agree with you.
That's our fault. And when we walk around and we play into that stereotype, that's sending them the wrong message.
Right.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
That's our fault. You know. And so this next one, I have no con to it. I'm 100% agreement, and I love it. And that is, make us laugh. Women want a man that can make them laugh. I see nothing wrong with that.
I do see something wrong with. I don't have a problem with laughing, but there is a time and a place. So if you know it's a time to be serious, I don't expect you to be making jokes or trying to make me laugh on something that I'm taking serious.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing, though. She's not trying to make you laugh. They want
She's
a
trying to
man
make
to
light.
they want a man to make them laugh.
To make them laugh.
And this is what women want from
Okay.
men. And so this whole list is what women want from
Gotcha.
men.
Okay.
I was
They
just
wanna
able to
make-
find a con within it. You know, within what they want. You know, they're all pros.
Well,
and
I'm still
we're
say
all
the
in
same
agreement.
thing. I'm gonna still say it's a time and a place.
I'll
you
say,
know.
just like I agree with you, time and a place, K Money, because the thing, you know, as a comedian, you can end up in the friend zone, making them laugh too damn much, because sometimes they will never take you serious if you always making them laugh. So that would be a con.
I think the con to that would be to joke around with them at the wrong time.
Yeah. That's
You know what I
say.
mean?
It's a
If-
time and a place.
Yeah, you know, if it's she going through something, you know, family emergencies or stuff like that, you know, people don't want to be joked around with, and you have to be that type of person to understand that. You know, this is not a time to be joking with her, so she might unleash the beast on you for trying to make her laugh at this point in time. So yeah, there can be a con to it, you know, in a sense.
Okay. So, last on the list, right? Women want to hold a man to his word. Be a man of your word.
Well, now a con to that is you tell her the truth about something that, you know,
She hold against you.
yeah, and that can be a con. I mean,
Well, being a man of your word, saying that, hey, I'm gonna take you out to eat next week, and next week comes and goes,
and
you
do
didn't
it.
take her.
Yeah, that's
You wasn't a man of your word.
yeah, but see, it could have been a reason why you wasn't able to do it. Emergencies happen, a lot of stuff happen. Is she
Yeah.
gonna accept the reason why?
That's the thing. Yeah. If
You know what I
As long
mean?
as you've communicated what the reason is, I feel it should be acceptable.
Because they'll break it off if they got something else going on. If she playing something and they got something else going on, they'll tell you, well, I you know what, we might not be able to do it like that this week because I got to go do this without a problem, and won't have a problem telling you that that's how it's got to go. And then as a man, you accept that, okay, cool, we can whenever, you know. But yeah, they don't like when it happens the other way. You know, shoe on the other foot is crazy. But most men are. Well, if you're not a man of your word, you really don't have nothing in the first place, though.
And they really wouldn't like you being consistent and not being a
And
man
not
of
being
your
a
word.
man of your word.
You know, I'm in agreement with you too. Things do happen. So, and that's how I feel. You know, sometimes things happen, and we're unable to come through as we promise. So we would rather not express our thoughts on what we plan, just in case our plans fall apart. So, man, with that being said, man, I'm gonna come to a close. Ladies, as a fly on the wall at the Distinguished Gentleman Club, I hope today's discussion was educational. Now, You can buzz on out. This concludes another dope episode. Tune in tomorrow for Think Thursday. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.